So welcome to the another video, and today we are gonna be looking at the next lab of the PortSwigger Academy, the server-side parameter pollution section, and this is going to be the testing for the server-side parameter pollution in the REST paths. So here we can see that a RESTful API may place a parameter names and values in the URL path rather than the query string. For example, consider the following path. So yeah, we can see that this is the following path, and you can see that this is the root path, this is the resource path, which is the slash users, and this represents the parameter here, an identifier for the specific user. So we can see the path here, and we'll be breaking down the path as follows. So considering an application that enables you to edit user profiles based on their username, requests are sent to the following endpoint: get edit profile dot php, and name is Peter here. So the results in the following server-side request will be get the API, which is private, and user is Peter. So an attacker may be able to manipulate server-side URL path parameters to exploit the API. To test this vulnerability, add the path traversal sequence to modify the parameters and observe how the application responds. So I'll explain to you that how it will work. So if you submit this URL, which is encoded with Peter slash dot dot slash admin as the value of the name parameter here. Here is the name parameter. If we replace it by this, it will first go to the Peter, then it will traverse it back, and then it will go to the admin. So the system will think that we have to go to the Peter, but as soon as it will process the request, it will first go to Peter, then traverse it back, and then go to the admin. So if the URL encoded path will be as follows, like the get this PHP edit profile PHP name Peter, then this is the URL encoded for the slash, and this is the dots, two dots to traverse back, and admin here. So the result may be as follows: the API private users Peter and admin. If the server-side client or backend API normalizes this path, it may resolve to the user's admin. You can see here. So we can able to access the private profile of the admin here by this method, and so we'll check it in the lab exploiting the server-side parameter pollution in a REST URL. This is an expert level lab, and it is not solved yet from our side. So we'll go here and we'll solve it. So to solve this lab, you'll need to know that how to identify whether a user input is included in server-side URL path or query string, how to use path traversal sequences to attempt to change server-side requests, and how to discover API documentation. These points are covered in our API testing academy. So our lab, we have to log in as administrator and delete Carlos. So first we'll go to the lab, we'll access the lab here. I'll see you soon. So now as you can see here, we have accessed our lab, and we'll log into our lab. We'll try to log into our lab. So we don't have a username here right now, but if we use the username from the previous Wiener and Peter, maybe if we can log in to the lab. So no, we are not able to log into the lab now. And if I forgot the password here, maybe I can write my username administrator, and they're asking me to use to check my email. So what I'll do is I'll connect my proxy and I'll open the burp suite. So I have opened my burp suite here. As you can see, now I'll connect my proxy with the burp proxy, and I'll go to the forward password. I'll forward this request, then I'll put the name administrator, but the wrong version of it. Administrator with a hashtag here. I put this, and if I send it to my repeater and check what output it gives to me, I'll send this request, and it will say that the type is the error type and the result is invalid route. Please refer to the API definition. So what I'll do next, according to this, I have to refer to the API definition to get the to forget the password with the correct username. So now what I can do is I can try accessing the URL and try checking the response with the different methods. So what I can do is I can add a parameter of question mark here, then I'll send the request and then see what output it gives to me. So it gives me the same output for this, the question mark addition as well. So what I'll do is I'll send it as in the format of the URL or something. So if you can see here, if I send it in the format with a uh, dot slash administrator, if you can see here, if I send it in dot slash administrator format, it shows me the correct result here, and the type is email. So next what I can do is I know that it can the username can take this format in the administrator panel. If you can see here, if I send the administrator only, it will show me the output, but it can take this also as a parameter. So we have to at the end we have to exploit the API, and we have to get to the administrator account and delete the user Carlos. So uh, so next one more thing I can check is the dot and slash, which is to go back in the terminal. So if we see here, if I put dot slash administrator, it will show me the invalid route. So now we know that it takes this input as a correct input. So next what we can do is, now that we know that this is the endpoint here, what we can do is uh, we'll try to add a truncation here. So what I'll do is I'll add in a URL encoded format a hashtag, and we'll send the request here. We can see that the route is invalid, and it's telling us to refer to the API definition. So what we can do is we can add one more backslash, and then we can add one more slash. So we'll try adding more and more till we find something very useful here, because we know that we have the endpoint already. So now you can see here we have a new output, which is unexpected response from the API server, and this is in a HTML format. So if we see, the title is not found, and the URL we have requested is also not found. So next, this indicates that we are already out of the loop of the API, and next what we can do is we can add our to hit the correct endpoint. What we can do is we already know here that we have the we are out of the API structure now, the API URL structure, and also the administrator uh, 23 or the other invalid routes. We saw that we have to read the API definition to know the exact URL pattern. So to do that, what we can do is we can hit the API definition file here. So to do that, we are not guessing it randomly, but there are few specific files which all attackers must try, and the list is the one of the main contenders in the list is the openapi.json. So if I hit that endpoint, what it will show me that the unexpected response from the API server, and the title is not found. So something is wrong in our API request, and what we can do here, we can make some changes. To eliminate this problem, what we'll do is we'll try adding the truncation here, which is the hashtag. So why this will work is if you do not put this truncation here, which is hashtag, it will go to the reset, and it will automatically tell the server that this request is invalid according to the value set in the files, and you just reset it to the normal URL. But if you use the truncation here with the percentage 23, it will not read the further commands, that is the reset command, and it will show us the output of the JSON file. If we send this, we can check here that we have the unexpected response from the API server, but there is something interesting in the OpenAPI file, which we got is this one, the API internal v1 users and the username and the field, and we have to mention the field here and the username. So we know the username already, which is administrator, but now we have to find the field. So our goal is to find the field now in the URL parameter, and then we'll send the URL parameter again. So now that we know the full structure of the URL, what we can do is, so while putting up the username here, username is equals to administrator, it already appends this v1 users. So what we'll do is, we'll try to get the field, and we'll try to change the field ahead. So if I type administrator here, with the field and a random field which is anything. So anything maybe, yeah, anything, and with the truncation, because if it reads anything ahead, it would reset the request. If it reads and if the thing is not valid, it will reset the request. So I try to do try to send it. Ah, sorry. So yeah, there's no need for the second request here. If we check here, it is written that the type is error, and the result is this version of the API only supports the email field for security reasons. So only the valid field here is the email field. Um, if we send the email field here, yeah, it works very well, and it will send us the reset token to the email. So now what we can do is, how it is different from the last lab we solved is, in the last lab we have to change the URL parameter and the URL in the address bar, and we were not messing up with the any of the APIs in that. But in this one we have to mess up with the API. We have to change the field, and we have to uh, in this the format of the API is very different, and the format of the URL is very different. So now that we know that we have already sent the request to the uh, uh, we have already sent the request to the administrator. What we can do now is go to the sitemap, and we go to the password, the JS file here, and if we go down and if we read the working of this JS file for the password, yeah, reset token. So here it says that the forward password is ready, and the reset token is the URL parameters to get the reset token. And if the reset token is in the URL, the forward password reset token is the reset token which they generate. The else the forward password button is okay. So what we have to do is we have to just focus on this one, which is the forward password question mark password reset token is equals to the reset token. So what we can do is we can take this parameter here, and we can put it in the field to check if we have if it is working well. So we'll truncate this further, we'll send the request, and oh, okay, we got the same error. So now what else we can do is to change the version of the API, maybe, because here it is written that the version of the API only supports the email field for security reasons. So what we have to do is to change the version of the API, and to change it, as we have seen the API format already, that it was a different format in the previous the previous response. So the new response can be like the v1 and the internal v1 users and administrator, and the field users is administrator, and the field is password reset token. So if I send this request, this is the invalid route. Maybe I'm missing something. What I'm missing is maybe one more flash. So yes, here we have the password reset token. Here the type is password reset token, and we have the token already. So if I copy this token, and what else I can do is I can go to the browser, and what I'll do is I'll copy this endpoint here. So copy this endpoint and paste it here with the password reset token to be this, and we'll turn off our proxy and Press enter. Okay, maybe API internal. Press enter. So we are not able to connect to the website. What we can do is, so our URL was wrong before, and what we can do here is we can go to the URL bar and we can type the question mark for the new parameter. And what we can do is we can go to password. Above there is the password reset token. Here we'll copy this. Oops, we can copy this here. And what we can do is we'll go here, we'll paste this here, and then we can go to the verb suite again. We can copy the token and we can paste the token here. If you press enter, okay, you can see that we have invalid token. But what we'll do is I'll generate the new token and I'll see you again with the same procedure. As you can see, I have created my new password reset token here again with the same procedure as I have shown you. Now I'll start with the new parameter here and I'll copy this here and paste this here. If I turn off my worksuit proxy, if I press enter, you can see that I'm able to access to the new password. I'll change the password to 12356 and 12356 again. And if I submit it, our administrator account password is changed, and I can normally go to my account and log into the administrator account here. So in the username we'll type administrator and in the password we'll go with 12356, and you can see that we are logged in to the administrator account. Our account name is administrator. We'll go to the admin panel and then we'll go to the Carlos account and we'll delete it. And while deleting the Carlos account, you can see the user is successfully deleted, and congratulations, you have solved the lab. So yeah, this was the lab, and so yeah, this was all for the lab, and we have successfully solved the lab, and we have successfully exploited the server-side parameter pollution in the REST API and the REST URL. So if we refresh this page, you can see that lab is solved. And so with this, we have successfully completed our API testing part in the PortSwigger Academy, and we'll be starting off with the new series and the new category in the PortSwigger Academy labs. And please do let me know if you want anything specific or any special video, or if you want any help in downloading the cybersecurity tools, as I'm going to come up with the new topics and the new tutorials. And see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.